Hey, so I'm outside. The birds are in the downspout for the gutters. So I need to build something to kind of block the gutters off so they don't do this every year. Let's see what I can come up with. So I figure I'll have to design my own. I was looking on the internet for gutter guards, and they have some that are just one piece of flat screen, and you take the screen and apply it to the on the gutter opening on the downspout. But then the water rushes over it, and then leaves kind of get picked up, and then it all kind of comes together and mixed with mud, I guess, and then over time it just kind of builds up on that screen itself and actually blocks it and clogs it. So that's not going to work. Then they have other ones which are like this round kind of aluminum or stainless steel. I've seen those too. Basket kind of thing that pushes inside the gutter. Problem with that is that the hole openings are kind of small, and the same idea happens is that eventually over time the leaves are just going to clog it up. So I'll have to build my own, but it has to be, the holes have to be, small enough so that the birds don't go into the gutter, which is the problem I have now, into the downspout. And then they have to be big enough to allow water to pass through it. So about a ½ inch is what I'm thinking here. So I went on to madisonpaper.com, printed out some graph paper, 1/2 inch squares. I'm going to use this and design something. Alrighty. Alright, so here's what I come up with. My gutter opening is 2 3/4 by 1 3/4. So I made a little bigger. I made this side 2, and I made that one 4 1/2, since it doesn't matter anyway, because that's the length of the gutter there. This is the width here. So this measurement is more critical than that one is. So there you look at it. It's just easy to just count the blocks. So 4 1/2 by 2. And then these are the sides here. Side, there's a side, and there's a side. The sides there. And then I put this long sections here that are actually going to go down into the downspout. So when I'm done, it should look something like this. So it'll be a box with 2 legs going down into the gutter. So there's the dimensions for you. And these dotted lines around the edges are where the cut lines are going to be. So I'm up here on the gutter. The template is already up there. It's already folded up, and you can see that it kind of fits down inside the hole there. It looks like it's going to work okay. I'm kind of curious as what's going to happen once I actually apply this to the screen. We'll find out, huh? So here's what all this is leading up to. This is hardware cloth right here, green, and it's vinyl coated. So it's 19 gauge wire, 1/2 inch square openings, and that's why I used the 1/2 inch template. So all I had to do was, when I got done drawing it right there, I was sure that that's how it's going to look on the actual hardware cloth. So I just taped the template to the hardware cloth there, just with tape. And then I'm just going to use the diagonal cutters and just go right on the edge of this, where this cut line is right here. Just go along, all the way along the whole thing. And hopefully once I'm done that, then this section will come out. I'll bend it into shape, and then just take the template and transfer it over to another section and get as much use of this hardware cloth as I can. The hardware cloth wants to unroll and roll. Actually wants to stay rolled up, so I had to find whatever I could to weigh down the ends of it here so it doesn't come flinging back at me. Anyway, we'll cut this out and see what it looks like. All right. So I found it's easier to market the cut line, so I was lucky, had some craft paint, a paintbrush, and I just went ahead and marked all the way around like that. So here I am here finishing up where the cut lines are, along where the template is. Just enough so you know where to cut, and then I would cut on the inside of that all the way around, and then be done. So there you go. Maybe hopefully that's easier. Alright, here's the first one cut out. See if I can get it bent into shape now. Well, so as it ends up, I showed this to my wife, and I said, here we go, here's my thing to prevent the birds from going down into the downspouts and getting trapped in there. But it also lets the rain go into the downspouts, and it stops the leaves from going in the downspouts. So it's all great. And she said, Well, what stops the birds from building a nest on top of your little contraption there? And so that was a good question, a real good question. So first thing I did, and I went up there and measured it. Yes, I did have to bend these little ends in because this is just the width of the gutter here, so I had to bend those in instead of cut them off, and that's what I ended up doing, but it'll be all right. And then I cut a couple of them and put some spikes in there, and hopefully that stops the birds from building nest on top, although it probably won't. But anyway, hopefully this will be some small deterrent anyway to what's going on and stop birds from dying inside our gutters, our downspouts, and hopefully it'll give you some ideas on other things you can do. All right, thanks. So here are the final dimensions. This is for the small guard, and here's for the larger guard. And as you can tell, we reduced the dimension going down into the downspout to 3 inches instead of 4, just because that additional inch wasn't helping anything. Anyway, I hope this helps. Take care.